Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ. And up next, we have DJ Akademiks exposes Elliot Wilson lied about Drake and Future, squashing their beef. Shout out to Chick Smooth for the video. If you guys don't know who Elliot Wilson is, he is definitely one of the most heralded hip hop journalists. But with the media totally changing, the dude has definitely kind of shifted into becoming what he hates. It feels like Elliot Wilson is definitely suffering from an identity crisis right now with the fact that the media world is changing, like the way we consume media is different. He definitely showed earlier this year that he had a huge resentment towards the streamers because they were in fact getting these huge interviews, and gone were the times where you needed to go to like the biggest publication to spread the word about your project and promote yourself. And now you definitely get more eyes on your project by showing up to a Kai streamer, or Aiden Ross streamer, or whoever streamer with a huge following you choose to go to. The world has definitely changed. And Elliot has definitely tried to adjust his strategy this year by kind of delving more into the internet. It's worked out for him, but while you are going viral for breaking some news, if the news turns out to be false, your credibility goes down the drain. And now with you having no integrity, people just don't take you seriously. And then it's only a matter of time before they just don't listen to you at all. And his platform has definitely dwindled from where it was. At one time, he was the editor of the most famous hip hop publication, but times have changed, man. If you don't adapt, you become a dinosaur, and we all know what happened to them. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video. Again, it's entitled DJ Akademiks exposes Elliot Wilson lied about Drake and Future squashing their beef.
You see what happens when you let other people speak for you, control your narrative, and tell your story? This is why it's very important for every single artist to speak out for themselves.
I totally agree. Those two on the left are probably the two worst people to have speaking for you during probably anything, unless you're like intentionally trying to leak information. But Elliot Wilson, while he has been a very, very important person in hip hop media, dude was the editor of the biggest hip hop publication. Akademiks is definitely somebody that, if you're trying to like gain more cool points, I don't know if he's the right person to use. And honestly, fam, if you're sending him any type of information, just expect it to get leaked. He's had no shame in leaking anything before. So while I do feel like, yeah, he does have a huge audience, I feel like these artists are totally aware that if they tell Akademiks anything, even if they tell them not to go out and leak it, I think that's almost like for like plausible deniability. So they can say, hey, I didn't want that out there. And if it doesn't work, you can complain about how they messed it up, that they actually want this stuff leaked. You don't give any type of like secret information to Akademiks unless you want the world to know. And he's proven it time and time again. Elliot Wilson, on the other hand, like I said earlier, man, he's one of those that he's like found himself becoming a dinosaur because instead of embracing the new wave of media, he's kind of hunkered down. And it seems like this year he has tried to pivot, which is why he's coming out with these type of claims, because he knows they're going to go viral. And at this point, he's pretty much doing the very thing he was complaining about when he was hating on Kai for getting those interviews, which is obviously something he would prefer to have. But these people got to realize that like to get the most eyes on any type of project right now, these people got to realize that to get the most eyes on any given project, you're going to go to the people with the most eyes. And right now, the streamers are killing it. You know, it's like there's a reason why a lot of these like streaming services are doing bad, because it doesn't take much to garner attention. Like these people are spending tens of millions of dollars on projects, sometimes hundreds of millions on a movie for somebody that's just streaming from their bedroom with probably a few $1,000s worth of equipment to garner the same attention, which is definitely something that, thanks to the internet, it's definitely made accessible to everybody. And honestly, having Akademiks as your spokesperson, like, fam, he sets these expectations that are so ridiculously high that you're never going to reach those expectations, because the fans are going to go and build up this this bar that you're never going to be able to meet realistically. For somebody like Drake, I really think he does benefit from the surprise release. He's not one of those people that really needs a long rollout, maybe some subtle things, but he's been known to drop surprise releases. And I feel like with Akademiks telegraphing everything, it sets up this expectation that he's never going to meet. And yeah, honestly, it's his fault.
If you don't, somebody else is going to speak on your behalf, and it may not be true. Now, yesterday, the hip hop world was a complete utter chaos when Elliot Wilson announced that Drake and Future squashed their beef. Now, it wasn't so far-fetched to actually think that Drake and Future wouldn't squash their beef.
Honestly, they're two peas in the same pod. Those guys are more similar than they are not. While their backgrounds are different, the way they handle situations are pretty much the same. They are two of the most sensitive rappers in hip hop, and their actions over the years definitely can convey that. But yeah, I feel like that relationship is going to be mended And I know they're saying, oh, and Metro obviously wasn't involved. Metro is definitely gonna shut up and go produce for them because at the end of the day, Future is his biggest collaborator. I doubt he's gonna leave money on the table, especially given the fact that not too long ago he was running back basically his involvement in the beef. When honestly, he was like the catalyst for all that. While there was like strains on these relationships for many years, obviously like that was the thing that kind of like set all these things into motion. For me, that's all the evidence I need to see that, yeah, man, pretty soon together they will all be working together again.
Even when Drake was going back and forth, he really never said much about Future except, yo, we just had a little
They're the same
miscommunication, that's
person.
all. So it always felt like eventually Drake and Future were going to speak and they were going to be cool. And if you also add in the tweet from Young Thug a couple weeks ago where he added Drake, Future, and Metro, saying we all brothers, music ain't the same without us collabing, it wouldn't sound too crazy and too unbelievable to believe that Drake and Future would make amends. Now, Drake and Metro is a whole different story. I do not see those two guys getting back cool again.
Man, at the end of the day, like I just said, the dude was already running everything back in the event this happened. And it looks like it is happening. I feel like with Young Thug tweeting this out, I'm almost 100% sure he's going to get back on the grind. These cases are really expensive. The dude has dropped millions and millions defending this. With that being the case, he's burned through a lot of his money. He was selling assets to pay for some of this stuff. This is expensive, man. This is a RICO. Like, your freedom has no price tag, you know? You will pay whatever it takes to get out if you have the opportunity to. But that being said, with him being out, I feel like he is going to hit the ground running. This is probably the most popular he's ever been, at least probably the most exposure he's ever had. His case has definitely been in the ethos for a very long time, where even like casuals know about it. This, along with him being able to negotiate, still speaking to Gunna, is very telling. The dude is just going to focus on music and try to like generate some of that money back. I think honestly they're all going to be collabing soon, and honestly I do think that Drake, at this point, he'll work with anybody to try to get a hit to actually stick for longer than a week. So yeah, I expect all these people to work. They're all pretty much the same. They're all petty fam. I am definitely excited to hear what Young Thug cooks up. But yeah, it's a matter of time before we get a record with all these guys. I feel like they all kind of need each other right now.
But Drake and Future was definitely a possibility. According to Elliot Wilson, his sources told him Drake and Future have at least spoken on the phone together. Here's what he said.
Drake and Future gotten on the phone and they resolved their difference.
Wait.
Drake and Future.
What a time to be alive. We're back.
A good authority, Drake and Future.
Damn, bro is excited.
Gotten on the phone and resolved their differences. So I don't know what that means. Obviously, we saw Young Thug. I mean, not Young Thug. Yeah, Young Thug. From prison, incarcerated, put out the energy of, hey guys, let's get it back going. So I think that helped the energy when Future reposted it.
Yeah.
So I know they did. All I can really say is they got on the phone and whatever seemed to be the issues, they seem to come to a place of resolving that. Metro not included.
Yeah, obviously he made a point to say that. But yeah, I think Metro will like get back in line real quick too, because like at the end of the day, he does see Future as a big brother, and I feel like if Future really tells him, "Nah, you gonna make this record," I feel like Metro will make the record. And Drake, yeah, he's just trying to get something to stick.
No trust there still with Metro, but I do believe that Drake and Future are back on the same page. What the reveal will be, I don't know, but probably with the music, I would think when it's time. Like, do we get a Drake party album? Does Drake come out with a single with Future? Does Future come out with Future? I didn't even get another Future album. He's crazy. He might do another album.
That party album might be a surprise drop.
Now, I thought it was a little bit strange for Elliot Wilson to be the person to break this kind of news. This is normally something somebody like an Akademiks would break to his audience, especially when it's just about two men having a conversation.
Like I said earlier, for all the complaining Elliot was doing, the dude is doing the very thing he was talking trash about. The dude is making content like the people he was hating on. Right now, they're basically referring to the fact that like something that honestly would be more up Akademiks' sleeve.
On the phone. And also throughout this whole Drake beef with everybody, we haven't really seen Elliot Wilson break any news regarding Drake Kendrick, or anybody else that was involved.
Not from
Really,
lack of
the only
trying.
person that we hear from is Akademiks. He's got a direct line with Drake. Anytime Drake wants to get something across to the audience, or anytime Drake wants to dispute a rumor, he normally does that through Akademiks. Today, Akademiks got on his stream to tell everybody Elliot Wilson is capping. Akademiks said he spoke to both parties, and both parties confirmed to him that no conversation has taken place. Here's what Akademiks said.
Spoken to extremely credible sources on both sides, and Drake and Future has not been on the phone.
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him. Lied. Fucking lied.
That flex audio
Not too
snippet
sure
will never get old.
who gave Elliot Wilson the authority to say this.
Elliot, man, it doesn't even have to be true for it to make a splash. Obviously, it got tons of clicks and engagement, so I feel like the net positive for him and his ed, he came out winning. But bam, you still got to think about your credibility. I do stress that having integrity is something that is vital, because the last thing you want to do is have your audience not believe you. And I feel like if that ever is the case, I feel like they will move on for the most part.
But from what I hear, that is not true. That is 100% cap. Now, I'm not going to say Elliot Wilson is
He may have just gotten misinformation
contorting or misrepresenting facts, but whoever his source is,
exactly.
from what I've heard, whoever that source is ain't telling the right thing. So, again,
I want to say OVO Mark, I think, also
I'm
confirmed
pretty sure
that
he'll
they
rock
didn't
with his
speak
sources.
yet.
I think I rock with mine, okay? And from what I've heard, that is not true. Again, only thing I call to confirm, multiple places on both sides. Did Future and Drake get on the phone to resolve shit? And the answer was categorically no. That conversation is not happening.
Emphatically no.
So
Erroneous.
just letting you know that while this sounded great and that all the media outlets have reprinted it,
I still think it is a matter of time, but yeah, man, you do got to check your sources. And I feel like, yeah, somebody with the pedigree of Elliot Wilson, he would have done a better job, but honestly, this year hasn't been his best with getting accurate sources.
it's the reason why Drake hasn't commented, Future hasn't commented, because it ain't true. Okay?
I feel like we'd see a post.
So,
Drake would definitely put up a
doesn't mean
story.
it won't happen in the future. Doesn't mean that I don't personally want it to happen, and I think every fan does want it to happen. But from what I'm hearing at this moment, that reconciliation has not yet completely occurred. If it's gonna occur, we don't even know if it's gonna occur.
Completely.
Right? The only thing I verified was there was no conversation that was had between Navadius Cash, or is that his name, or Cash Wilburn at this point, and Aubrey Drake Graham. There was no on the phone conversation at all. So hopefully they get back together, man, because we still do need Watertown to be alive, but it ain't happened yet, man. Now let's get into a little bit of, and by the way, Elliott's a journalist. I just got him sources, and the sources know when they tell me it's going out. They know not to lie to me. The sources lie to me. The source ain't the source no more. Okay.
Of course, like I said, credibility is everything, especially in this. If he gets a source that is lying to him, like, dude, it's gonna affect his bottom line, because there's ramifications to this type of stuff. If you go and you report on something and it could potentially like ruin somebody's money, they're gonna definitely sue you for defamation. I mean, we saw it with Tasha K and Cardi. So yeah, if you find out the source is lying to you, you're not gonna ever use them as a source again. Or if you do, you're not gonna like report on anything until you confirm that with somebody who's probably more credible.
You're just a liar, lying to me. Anyway, but I confirmed on both sides. This ain't happened. What I will say is that he might not have a direct source. You see, he has on good authority. That might be the conversation that's happening in industry circles.
Now, maybe I missed something, but I thought Akademiks and Elliot Wilson were cool. Akademiks did not call Elliot Wilson like he normally does on stream to verify his sources. Maybe.
Well, I'm pretty sure, because like he said, the source he's using, it's probably somebody that has never probably led him astray. So he's going to trust him. But yeah, man, we don't know who is telling Elliot any of this stuff. But at the very same time, somebody else may have had a conversation from within their two camps, which probably led to like people speculating that like the beef was about to be squashed. And like I said earlier, I really do feel like, honestly, they're the same person. Half the industry is smashing the same 20 chicks anyway, And if you do analyze their actions, man, you realize how like parallel their lives really are. They both treat shorties the same, and honestly, they both have had like sort of similar narratives. Because for as many people saying that Drake hasn't evolved, it's also been something that's been placed upon Future, especially with his latest mixtape. And I feel like that does come from just being so prolific and just dropping so much music. You don't really have time to evolve. You've just been making the same song for like 5 years. While Elliott may be totally wrong and a conversation hasn't happened yet, I do feel like giving some time, especially with what Metro said, basically denying his like involvement in any of the beef, which is crazy because it was spawned on your record. So that's nuts. I do feel like this will definitely be resolved in due time, man. I feel like they need each other right now.
Maybe he was trying to save him from embarrassment. Maybe he didn't want to catch him in a lie, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, Elliot Wilson actually responded back to a fan that was calling him out and also questioning his credentials. Elliot Wilson basically told her, I have 3 decades and a career in covering hip-hop.
This person has got to be 20 years or younger because to question his authority to speak on hip-hop is ridiculous. The dude was a longtime editor for XXL magazine, probably the most important publication in hip-hop. So while media has changed and shifted to more of the online stuff, you can't deny the dude's impact on hip-hop media and speaking on these topics. Like, dude, this is freaking crazy.
I'm a hip-hop journalism GOAT. Now, I know a lot of you guys want to call Elliot Wilson a liar, a clout chaser, but I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt. Elliot Wilson has put in years of journalism, and I really don't see Elliot Wilson putting his reputation on the line just to report fake news about Drake and Future mending their issues. But I do have to say, Elliot, you have to cite your sources. You don't got to tell us the person's name, but at least tell us the relationship the person has with either Drake or Future. Now, knowing that Elliot Wilson and Drake are no longer cool, more than likely, Elliot's sources came from Future's camp. Even if you gotta lie about the person, even if you tell us it was Future's janitor, we'll still believe it. Listen.
Well, that's obviously naming the person. But you could easily say somebody in Future's camp. Elliot Wilson is definitely a journalist in its truest definition. And with that being the case, like journalism does pride itself on credibility. You can't just go and spew lies. There's ramifications for that, especially in his lane of media. So yeah, like you got to be very, very careful. But even with those things being true, the dude is still like adjusting to the new way of doing things. He is playing the internet game because he's probably starting to realize if he doesn't change, if he doesn't adjust and move with the times, he will just be a relic of the past. And yeah, you've been a part of history over at XXL, but fam, it's like, what have you done for me lately? But at the same time, you still got to make sure your sources are right. Maybe it is somebody within Future's camp and it's not directly Drake and Future, but the word is floating around. To me, it's just something that was bound to happen. Like I said, especially with Metro trying to rewrite history of the beef, and at least of his involvement anyway. All signs point to they will like mend their relationships. A lot of this stuff was over chicks, and yeah, man, like these people share the same chicks anyway. They all act the same. They all treat people the same. And honestly, Drake does need them just as much as they probably need him. So yeah, time will tell if what Elliot Wilson said is corroborated. I feel like this situation will resolve itself by the middle of next year at the very, very latest. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about what Elliot Wilson said. Do you guys think he's lying about the whole situation? Did they actually talk? Or is it more than likely just somebody in one of their camps that spoke to him? Or maybe something that he just overheard? And also let me know what you guys think about DJ Akademiks. Do you think he was right in not like calling him first? I don't really feel like he owes him that. They're not like homies. Like they may have some type of like industry friendship, but it pretty much ends there. And yeah, Akademiks has been the guy that has been like breaking a lot of this type of news. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. Thank you guys so much for watching. Guys, I think we're like less than 50 subs away from 3K. You guys are amazing. It's all thanks to you guys. The growth of the channel is all thanks to you guys. We have another month where we cleared over 120K in views for the channel. And honestly, yeah, I just want to let you guys know I'm beyond grateful and you guys are amazing. The dialogues are always amazing in the comments. So I am looking forward to what you guys have to say about this. And yeah, hope you guys love the video and I hope to see you guys soon. Axe braids just look like struggle braids, fam.